Okay, boom. We're live. So it's a new one actually as well. I'm calling this one, even though we're not technically face to face, I'm calling the Gman sits down. It's like a new kind of interview segue. So first guest, I've had her on before, but need no introduction, but I'll give her one anyway. Nicola Hopewell. Nicola, how are you keeping?
I'm really good, thank you. How are you?
I'm really good. It's glad to have you on. It's been a while. It's been about a
Yeah,
year now.
it's been ages, hasn't it? Easily, yeah.
It's been ages and not much has changed on here, but a lot has changed with you. Now, before we start talking about that, do you want to let the people know just a little bit about you and your background and just basically what you do?
Yeah, so I've just turned professional with British Boxing Board. I had a good amateur background. I had 32 fights, won 23 of them, got on the England talent pathway, won some belts, and then I turned pro with Bieber. Won a European title and an international title. And then this year I've decided to switch clubs and switch boxing boards to go with the British Boxing Board.
So you make your pro debut. It's the end of this month. I think it's on the 25th or 26th of August.
26th. Yeah.
26th of August. And you don't just get to debut on any show. You're actually debuting on Fight Zone with Dennis Hobson.
Yep.
That's really cool. Like most people are lucky to even get on like a small hall show at a decent kind of slot. You're there on Fight Zone straight away.
Yeah, and it's at Bramall Lane as well. So the football club that I support, it's at Sheffield United ground as well. So it's like perfect.
It's close to home. Team you support.
Yeah,
it's going to be streamed live on Fight Zone. So it's pretty much like a dream debut if you think about it like that. Like because everyone can see it.
Bramall Lane is like one of my when I turned pro with like British Boxing Board at the beginning of the year. I wrote down some goals and some like dream venues and stuff, and Bramall Lane was on there.
It's right. You said before this that you'd won titles. Boxing. Now you box professionally, but not under a British Boxing Board of Control license.
Yeah.
So you had 6 or 7 fights there, but officially they're not on your record. So this is kind of officially your pro debut. But
do you think I had 6, and then now they don't count with the British Boxing Board, so I'm starting from like 0 again. So it'll be my debut.
But do you think that gives you a big advantage going into the pro games? Because like a lot of people say from when they go from amateur to pro, it's a bit of a shock to the system straight away. But the fact that you've had those 6, they're basically pro fights. The fact that you've had them, do you think that stands you in good stead? That you kind of know what you're expecting. It's no different than if you would. It may as well be your 7th pro fight.
Yeah, it had really, because like the biggest difference is turning from amateur to pro is the size of the gloves, because the pro gloves, they're only 8 ounce, so they're a lot smaller. No head guard, and that was one of the biggest things that worried me, not having a head guard on. But through the 6 fights and stuff, I've got used to it, and I'm like the little gloves as well. So I feel like it's not a big jump like it would have been going from amateur to pro, because I've already had the 6 fights. So I'm already used to the no head guard. I'm already used to the little gloves.
In terms of your style, I mean, in those 6 fights you had, 5 of them ended in KO.
Yeah.
So like you're not someone who sticks around like too long. You like to go in there, get the job done quick. Is that kind of how you are as a fighter, as a pro fighter? You're kind of more all aggression, just try and get the stoppage, no overtime?
Yeah, I don't like to rush it. Like if it happens, it happens, and I was just fortunate, I guess, that it happened in 5 of the 6 fights. But it's not. I am quite an aggressive fighter, and if I do see it, and I see that I've hurt him, I'll just keep going and try and get it. But it's not like I won't go looking for it like in round like 1 or round 2. Like I want to save my energy for if I'm doing a 6-round fight. I don't want to burn myself fighting like rounds 1 and 2. But if I do see I've hurt the person, then I'll keep going.
You go on it. You're not one for letting it kind of slip. It's just like, see they're hurt, and I'm like, I'm taking them out now. Bye-bye.
Yeah.
In terms of weights, like you fought between, like, was it flyweight, super flyweight, kind of that? Are you comfy at that weight and sticking with that? Or are you maybe looking to go up a weight, go down a weight? Or are you comfy with the weight you're at now?
I'm going to be campaigning at super flyweight, but because of like the opponents, I might have to go up and I might have to go down. The possible opponent that we are looking at for my debut, I'll be going up. She's 53, so it'll be bantamweight, not super fly. Wow. But because there's not much difference between the weights, like it's not a big deal really. Like I do want to campaign at super fly because I've always boxed at that through the amateurs and through the other pro fights, the Bieber fights. So I kind of wanted to carry it on. But I think I've just got to be a little bit flexible with the weight.
Just start the way you could kind of early, and so you're not having to leave anything on fight week, and kind of just get used to that kind of, because the board, would they be a bit more strict on kind of like how you're weighing pre-fight as opposed to previously?
I think they're quite strict on like you're not cutting weight, like you're not supposed to like wear sweatsuits and stuff like that. Like you see people putting stuff on like wearing sweatsuits going for a run and stuff like that. But when I went for my interview and stuff, they said that like you're not supposed to do that. You're supposed to box at a comfortable weight that you can make easily. So Superfly I can make easily. I can walk around at that. So Superfly or Bantam, it's easy for me to make.
In terms of like getting on this card, like how did that come about straight away? Because like I said, it's not too often people turn pro and they're very like they're in the fortunate position, they're boxing in their home near the stadium they support, and on a big show like this with a good promoter like Hobson. How did that come about for you?
Well, when my medical came through, it only gave me 1 week to sell some tickets for the Worksop show, which is the show my manager wanted me to be on because it was local and it in my hometown. But I didn't have enough time. Like I can't sell that many tickets in 1 week. It's too stressful. Even though I felt ready in myself, I just didn't want the stress of that. So he said, let's leave it and I'll ask around and get you out probably early September. Because our next Worksop show probably October, November time, but he didn't want me waiting that long. So we just asked around, and Dennis already knew of me anyway. So Dennis came back to him and said that he did have a slot for me. And then when Joe rang me up and said, "Oh, got a slot for you. It's at Bramall Lane in August," and I thought he was winding me up. Like,
it's like a proper dream come true almost.
Yeah, I was like, "Are you sure about that?" And he was like, "Yeah."
And on Dennis Hobson as well, like who's been doing a lot of good work for the small time Paul boxing. I mean, like I think that the fact that he's been able to get Fight Zone up, he gets a lot of females out on the card, but he's basically putting the cameras on the small hall scene, which is a scene that a lot of people neglect. And I think you see a lot of good fighters, you know, like yourself, like people like Katie Healy as well, who don't really get enough spotlight. Like we see Katie Healy went over to South Africa recently and won a title over there. Like if it wasn't for Dennis Hobson, and Fight Zone, we wouldn't know who any of these are.
Yeah, because that's how like he's getting eyes on them, isn't he? Like because Fight Zone is like a growing like thing now, isn't it? That people tune into to watch boxing. So
it's growing. It's cheaper than the Zone. It has more shows than the Zone.
Yeah, because I think it's only like $1.99. I think
it's like £2, and like, he has fights on every other week nearly, and the Zone is paying double. You're paying pay-per-view and fights now, even when we were told we weren't. Thanks for that, Eddie Hearn. In terms of moving forward, obviously it's only a pro debut, and obviously we don't. You were talking about a show near home in October, but realistically, how many fights for your first like couple of months, of course, say 6 months, do you really expect to get out? Would you love to get maybe say 3 or 4? Keep going with Dennis Hobson as well as some other shows.
Yeah, I'd love to like box on this show and him want me out on one of his shows again. And then I'd love to do the one in Worksop as well. So I think realistically, I've spoke to my manager and it'll probably be this one and the Worksop one for the rest of this year. But if I did get a chance to do another one or get another Dennis Hobson show, like I'd take it. I won't turn the fight down. Like I'd love to get 3 or 4 in this year. I like to be busy.
That's the good thing, I suppose, as well about Dennis Hobson, is that he always has shows going. And I think that the fact that like people will get to see your kind of style, as you said, if you see an opportunity, you just go for it. You're not going to sit around and wait. I think that kind of bodes well for what he's looking for, if you know what I mean, because it's
makes an exciting fight.
Exactly. It's like, well, she's not going to stink the joint out, you know. I'll definitely, and she can sell tickets, so I'll stick her on the card, no problem.
Yeah, as long as I sell some tickets, and which they are going really well. Just need to keep pulling them a bit more, but I've only not had them a week yet, so when they are going well. So
if anyone does need to contact for tickets in the Sheffield area, they do just contact you. You have Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, all that. Just
I've got it all.
Chucking that out there.
Got
that all, and the tickets are selling good. And those shows, this is in kind of like a dining kind of, is it in a suite kind of dining suite kind of?
It's
Sheffield.
It's in a suite,
And they always are good when they're in that little kind of enclosed spaces, because you kind of everywhere is a good seat because you're always near the action. So it's not like
Yeah.
you're kind of a million miles away, and you're always
Yeah,
kind
you're
of in
not.
close.
It don't matter what ticket you're gonna get. You're gonna see something. And I have heard that it's a good venue. Someone at my gym has done like a kickboxing competition there before, and like they even said like the changing rooms, everything like that. There's all like Sheffield United stuff in there, and even like when you walk in the venue, like there's literally Sheffield United stuff all over the world, all over the walls. So I'm gonna love it.
So if it's a Sheffield United fan as well, they'll love it. They'll love just seeing all the pictures and
Yeah,
all that.
just come if you're Sheffield United fan.
There you go. You
Boxing's
get a dinner in
bonus.
Bramall Lane, plus the boxing is a bonus. In terms of, like, you are very good friends with Ebanie Bridges.
Yeah,
And I think the last time we spoke, Ebanie, no, she definitely didn't. She didn't even have a world title. She just lost to Shannon prior to that.
yeah.
So since we last spoke, she's obviously done great things in the sport. She's a very, very good friend of yours.
Yeah.
Have you seen her since she's been home? I know Mark Tibbs has said that she's been back training with him. Has she been up to you at all lately?
Not recently, but hoping to see her like end of this week. She's supposed to be coming up to Sheffield. I think when she came back over from Australia, she just went straight into camp back down in Brentwood in Essex. But I've seen her throughout the year. Like I saw her after fighting Leeds. Yeah, after fighting Leeds, I sparred her for fighting Leeds and saw her in December. So yeah, since we last spoke, I've seen her quite a lot.
In terms of like, you would have sparred her a bit since she's been training with Mark Tibbs. Do you really notice like every single time you spar her since then, it's just getting like an improvement?
Oh yeah, definitely. Last time I sparred her, like her footwork, it were really good. Like getting loads better. Because I think that was one of the things that she'd been like wanting to work on.
I see in
But
her
you can
journey.
definitely tell.
I know even Mark Diz was saying that when he got her first, he couldn't believe like kind of what he had to work with, and he said the fact she was able to do it so quick was like it surprised him almost.
Yeah,
In terms of her journey, just from where she's been, like I said, when we spoke last year, she was just coming off the loss to Shannon, and it was on fight camp. Turn all that around and go from losing to Shannon, having her eye smashed up real bad, becoming a world champion a year later. It's a pretty crazy journey.
yeah. I think since the Shannon fight, she then went on to beat Bet Connolly. I think she stopped Bet Connolly in a few rounds. There weren't many.
And at the time, Beck Connolly wasn't someone for getting stopped.
No, she weren't. No, definitely not. And it was a good fight up until then. And then one at round, she just caught her and then caught her again. It was a bit like what I do. She caught her, saw that she hurt her, and then went again.
Okay.
And then she had that good fight in Leeds. It was the same day I boxed, so I couldn't go to it. But she fought Maylee's Gangloff.
A very tough fight that was.
That was a tough fight for her, but she got through it. And then the next fight was a world title fight, wasn't it? So
yeah. It's been a crazy way because it's weird. Like Ebanie lost to Shannon Courtney, very close fight, but she lost that. And it's been like, in a way, it's almost like she won because Shannon Courtney has had the polar opposite since then. I mean, she literally lost
she's
title
had
on the
that
scale,
fight
got battered,
with,
and then
Jamie
Mitchell.
Yeah. She had the fight with
lost
Jamie
title
Mitchell,
on
and
the
then
scale,
that way, wasn't it?
That was literally it. So it's kind of like the loser wins almost, and the winner lost. If you know what I mean. Like Shannon had literally 5 minutes of fame, and that was it. Then, like we've heard nothing from her since.
Yeah, that was it. She went quiet, didn't she? And then she boxed Jamie Mitchell, and then she's gone quiet again. So I don't know what's happening there. I did see a live that Eddie Earn were doing on Instagram the other day, and I think he said it was October when Shannon were going to be back out, but it seems a very long gap between when she boxed Jamie.
It seems a long gap, and the way she, like, I think handled herself since in the immediate aftermath of the loss, I think rubbed a few people up the wrong way as well. Kind of saying that definitely. Her face battered black and blue, but thinking she won the fight. I was thinking, okay. I mean, I
watched that fight. And she didn't win it.
No.
No way.
I think a bit of a karma chameleon is going on there.
Yeah, I think so.
In terms of Ebanie, have you heard anything from her about her next fights are coming up or anything like that? Or if luck has it, could she potentially be at your fight?
Yes, she's going to be at my fight. So yeah, she's coming to Bramall Lane. But about her fight, no, I don't. I'm not sure. She's not said anything. I think she's still waiting on a date from Eddie.
No, fingers crossed we get to see her right soon because she's very good fun to watch. She's like I said, a bit like you, one of them who just, if the opportunity's there, just take them out. There's no, and I've always been someone, male or female, who likes that. No use just sitting there waiting. I love knockouts. I love seeing knockouts. So
if you can get it, go and get it.
Brilliant. Get a knockout. See you later. Boom. Job's done. In terms of fights we're looking forward to, There's a fight coming up in September. I think we're all looking forward to it. It's really kind of, from what I've seen, it's like everyone wants one particular fighter to win. Even fighters from that fighter's country want this other fighter to win, and that's obviously Marshall versus Shields.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts on that? And who are you pulling for?
I can't wait. I've got my tickets to go. Me and
You're
my
going
friend are
to it?
going down. Yeah, me and my
Brilliant.
friend are going. I can't wait. And all the press conferences and everything like that, they're so entertaining. I think Savannah, she's so cool and calm, and every little thing, like Clarissa's just biting at it. So that's why I do like Savannah, and I do think that she's going to win. Definitely.
You think Savannah kind of almost has Clarissa figured out in terms of a mental aspect? Because it seems like anything she does, and she's so calm about it, it's like Clarissa just bites instantly on everything. And it's
like
it's almost funny to watch.
her, like mentally, she's already got her, because like every little word, like Savannah's so calm, and then Clarissa's just like, she just goes off.
It's so fun, like one word answers, and she's just got Clarissa already just like, wow.
Yeah, she only has to say one word and that's it.
It's funny. It literally is funny seeing it like that. And obviously she's got Peter Fury in her corner as well, which makes just a massive difference, because his boxing brain is second to none.
Yeah, definitely. She's got a good corner.
In terms of like how you see it going, like take what we think of Clarissa Shields out of the equation. Do you see it being an easy or a hard fight, regardless of whether we think she'll win or not? Because I think that she will win, but it's not going to be straightforward.
I don't think it's going to be an easy fight for her, because obviously Clarissa, she can box. She's got all them medals and belts to prove it, and the amateur experience and stuff like that. But Savannah's a puncher, so I think it's one of them things where Clarissa's going to come at her. She's going to come at Savannah, but Savannah only needs to catch her with that one punch and then go again. She just needs to I think she just needs to break her down over the rounds. She needs to like stay away from Clarissa's like flurries, and then just break her down with the heavier shots.
See, the thing I find interesting is people always say about Clarissa's power or Savannah's power. Savannah can box too. Like, it's not like Clarissa is just the boxer and Savannah's like a Deontay Wilder who can't do anything but one right hand. Savannah's a good boxer. Yeah,
she is, definitely. I love watching her box.
Have you ever been in the same gym with her? Have you ever sparred her, or is it just kind of watch from a distance?
No, I think she's a bit big for me to spar. I think I'd be a bit scared. But no, I'd love to meet her one day. She does seem really nice.
And you're going to the show. Are you going just as a fan, or you have any media passes, or is it just fans?
No media pass or like that. Just me and my friend just bought some tickets when they went on sale. So
you've done a few media events in your time, haven't you? Like gone and interviewed. I think you interviewed Eddie Hearn as well.
Yeah, I've done a few things for women's fight news. So like if the shows were up here, because she's based in Wales. So I once went to one of the Matchroom, once went behind the scenes, did all the media day videos, interviews.
And how did you enjoy that? What was it
like? I really enjoyed it. Like the first one I did, I was really nervous. But then once I got into it, I was all right.
I've never been to a Matchroom show, but I do hear that the queue for Eddie Hearn is longer than it is for the boxers.
Oh, could you imagine? Yeah, definitely.
They say literally like you've a better chance at a Matchroom show getting, if there's a fighter you want to interview, you're going to get him, because everyone is queuing for Eddie Hearn.
Yeah, definitely.
It must be crazy to be at some of them. So before we finish up, because I don't want to keep you on all the time, it's August 26th.
Yep.
Dennis Hobson Fight Zone. Now, for those who don't know, Fight Zone is an app. You can download it, you can Google it, and basically it gives you the best of the small hall scene. So it's about £2 a month. Is there any, I know with Hannah, you can kind of say #team ranking. Is there any kind of like little thing you can use to know that's from you, or is it just a case of just sign up and just leave them a message?
Just sign up. I've not got nothing special or like that for it, but yeah, just sign up to it and then tune in on 26th of August.
26th of August. Do you know how many rounds it's going to be yet, or do you think it's probably 4 rounds?
It's going to be a 6-rounder.
6-rounder.
My manager said it's going to be. Yeah, I'm not messing about with 4 rounds.
Yeah, no. That's actually crazy, because normally they do just stick you in a 4-rounder if you're just on your pro debut and doing nothing. But the fact you're getting straight in the deep end with 6-rounders is like, we're not messing around. Just let's go.
I think my manager Joe, he spoke to Dennis, and he said about me doing 6-2s, and Dennis was just like, do it.
Happy
so
days,
I'm happy with that, because some girls like are stuck on 4-2s for like fight after fight after fight, and I don't
I
want to do
think
that. Like, I've already done an 8-round fight. I don't want to start on 4. I'm just warming up.
I think that was what happened with Katie here. I think she done literally just like 3 or 4, 6 or 4 rounders, and then straight into a 10 rounder.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah,
Which is crazy because you think about it, like it's not
you'd
exactly
like to
good.
work your way up, wouldn't you? From 4,
Yeah, like
6, 8, 10.
most people can go into a gym if they're anyway somewhat fit and do a 4 rounder. But then to do an extra 4 or 6 rounds on top of that is when you really start to need those rounds in the bank. So to avoid that and straight into a 6 rounder is a real good thing.
Yeah.
And in terms of the opponent, you've gotten a rough idea. You're going to be in the 52 kg bracket, but there's no one officially announced just yet.
No one's announced yet, no, but I know that a girl has been sent to my team from the matchmaker. So hopefully it'll be confirmed probably maybe this week.
Perfect. So
it's a good opponent.
It's a good opponent. So like as you said, you've kind of had unofficially 6 rounds of practice.
Yeah.
Or 6 fights of practice.
6 fights of practice, yeah.
So you're going in not as your average debut. You're going in with a nice bit of experience in the pro game already. Yeah. And you have, obviously, Ebanie, your team there as well at ringside. So you're going in with the full entourage.
Yeah.
The full entourage on your pro debut. And most people are lucky to even get like a couple of tickets. Like,
I know.
But that's crazy. In terms of finishing off, I'll leave it with you. Do you want to let them know where exactly they can get tickets, again, where it's going to be on, what platform it's going to be on, and just plug yourself one last time.
Okay, so it's on the 26th of August. It's at Bramall Lane. If you want tickets, just message me. I'm on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. And it's going to be on Fight Zone. So if you can't make it, tune into Fight Zone and sign up. It's only $1.99 a month.
And you get plenty of boxing on there as well.
And it's plenty of boxing.
More than the zone. And they don't swing a pay-per-view at you out of the blue. Now, Nicola, thanks again for coming on. Of course, I'll definitely have a look at that fight. And I look forward to seeing the progression. I look forward to seeing over the next couple of months what we can do. And hopefully, maybe, you never know, Ebanie, with her influence, maybe can get you out on one of her shows sooner or later.
Fingers crossed.
That's the fingers crossed.
Yeah.
I mean, she plugs you a lot, so surely she can have a word with Eddie or someone and say, come on, just on the undercard. There you go.
She needs to tell him to tune in on 26th. Just have a sneak peek.
And I think, you know what, that's after AJ fights Usyk, so if AJ loses and he's cheering up, there you go.
There you go.
There you go. Although if AJ loses, I don't think anything's going to cheer him up for a while.
I don't either.
No, well, thanks a mil for coming on. I much appreciate it. And of course, I'll send out the links on the comment section underneath this. Thanks again, Nikki, for coming on.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.